Okay, I'm going to talk to you today about a case study involving a young lady who is teaching possibly in her second year at my school. The young lady is highly educated. Her class is full of rigor, and there's a lot of work to be done. This is a highly affluent area, highly affluent school, very recognizable academic school, but these kids are not doing well in this particular class. This young lady has received an email on her off hours indicating that she needs to look at a link. That's questionable anyway, anytime you click on those things. But she clicks on the link, and what does she find but a web page dedicated to getting rid of her. This is viewed as a threat by her. She calls her administrator, which would be me in this case, and that's where we go from here in this particular case study. You know, first thing you have to ask yourself is, what do you know? Well, listen, I've got a record now. Parents have complained about the rigor and the leadership of the class. This young lady has all the tools necessary to be a great teacher. I've given her strategies. She's gone to workshops. She went to my new teacher mentor program. But have I done enough is the question I'm asking myself, because I'm getting a lot of emails and phone calls from parents complaining about this young lady. We know that she's received a threatening email and that there were nasty things being said about her on the internet. I also know she is scared, and that's something that bothers me as an administrator. I want my teachers and my students to feel safe when they walk into my building. What do I need to know to, I guess, come to some kind of conclusion and solve this case, if you will? I need to know who sent the email first and foremost. This should be easy to do. In today's day and age, our IT people ought to be able to find out where that URL came from and who at least identified the computer it came from. And we ought to be able to get to the bottom of who sent that email and created that web page rather quickly. If that's the case, I believe we can thwart this whole thing without involving the superintendent, without involving too many school personnel. The teacher, myself, the parents, and the student who created the problem should be able to handle this easily if we are able to find out where it came from. I need to know, though, however, what she's done in her classroom to help her students become successful. Is she communicating her standards to her students and her parents? The problem in this case is that we have a first-year, second-year teacher who has yet to be able to develop necessary skills to relate to kids. I see it all the time. We have a teacher right now in our particular school who, really great educator, very highly educated, came out of the business world, but doesn't quite relate, missed that piece, if you will, of classroom management. And I think that's something as an administrator that you have to, be able to do. As a principal, to take time out of your busy day to facilitate 150 teachers, it's hard. But in this particular case, it's something that needed to be done, and it's obviously reared its ugly head because the kids have gotten to the point now where they view her as a problem and someone that they do not like. My proposed plan of action would be, how do we fix it now? As an administrator, when you receive a call like that, first of all, I'm happy that the teacher felt able to contact me at home. But remember, this is my ship, so to speak. If there's going to be any changes or issues in my building, I need to fix it, or else it looks like I can't do my job. I think he calmed her down. He told her to, let me look at the internet, let me see what it is, let me make sure you're not making a mockery of it. But he was very polite, and he didn't intimidate her or make her feel inferior for calling. This could be viewed as a threat because someone asked her to click on a link that directly threatened her. So you run the risk of, okay, should she contact, because she asked her principal, should we contact the police? And a lot of teachers have bad things written about them on Twitter or Facebook, etc. There was a case here in Texas not too long ago where someone actually created a Facebook account as if they were that teacher and were talking to students inappropriately, and they found out that it was another student who actually created the Facebook and put the pictures up. It was crazy. But so, with the threat, we need to make sure that maybe the SRO is present. What should I have done in the past? New teacher orientations are great. We do them here. We have mentor teachers, although I think it's kind of a joke. We don't necessarily meet with our mentors more than once a month. I think that is something that if I was a building principal, I would propose that we meet with our mentors maybe once a week. The principal should also have more diligent walkthroughs with the first-year teachers. Schedule meetings after school to see if the teacher is adjusting or has concerns, or maybe even have your mentor teacher be someone who's in your department, not so much just someone in the building that likes teaching or has been there for a long time. Have the teacher videotape themselves in the first couple of lessons and then watch back and look for keys and cues as to whether or not they would be able to follow the lesson or would be intrigued by that type of lesson. Meeting the teacher in the morning is important. He said, let's meet first thing in the morning. Obviously, the teacher needs to feel safe. The teacher at this point is feel threatened, and it needs to be resolved quickly. Like I told you earlier, the IT person ought to be able to figure out really quick where this came from. Having the SRO present is important to me because we are talking about a threat and potentially some legal issues. And once the issue is resolved, I would go back to the original problem. That's alleviating the stress of this class. The case clearly put down that the kids feel stressed taking this teacher's class, and maybe her methods aren't quite up to par yet. Once the issue is complete and I begin to reflect on what has happened, reflection is huge, I think, for any leadership role. I've got to ask myself a couple of questions. Did I do enough to make sure my teacher was satisfied with the outcome? Okay, this is a teacher that's threatened and doesn't feel safe in the school. I want to alleviate that. Helping the young teacher grow is important to me. I don't believe in just throwing teachers away right off the bat, especially one as highly educated and as highly qualified as this teacher is. She needs some management style more than anything. In this particular case, the principal may have gotten comfortable in his job, maybe hadn't taken it upon himself to get out in the hallways and meet with some of his newer teachers. I will put the teacher on an immediate growth plan personally and try to make sure that she becomes the teacher we need her to be. Growth plans don't have to be threatening. They don't have to be something viewed as bad. And this teacher needs to know that, hey, we're trying to help you communicate, have proximity, learn better classroom management practices that will help you be a better classroom teacher. We need to develop an activity for the students where they discuss not putting threatening and hurtful things about teachers on other websites. Students could learn from this experience. A lot of students out there put things on their Facebook and their Twitter accounts that eventually will come back to haunt them when they try to get into colleges or get jobs, etc. They take pictures that are inappropriate. It's a big issue in today's day and age with the media that we have. So this is a teachable moment. I would use it as a teachable moment. The standard that this fits, the ISLLC standard, is 5, which clearly states the building level administrator is an educational leader who promotes the success of all students by acting with integrity, fairness, and an ethical manner. And I certainly think that this teacher is doing that. To reflect on it, how did you, mean me, as the building administrator, demonstrate a sense of integrity and ethical behavior for everyone, including the people in the community? Well, I met with the teacher privately to discuss this matter, and I discussed the growth plan with her. No other teacher needed to know we were discussing this. No other teacher needed to know about this issue unless she wanted to make it known. And how did I, as the building administrator, treat people fairly, equitably, with dignity and respect? Well, the case was easy. As like I said, I needed a little more meat and potatoes on this case. But if it was as easy as the IT person helping us identify the student who created this email or this link, then it's a matter of getting that student to see that they are wrong, apologize for it, see what discipline fits in our school code, and see if that teacher is satisfied with the student's explanation that they were wrong. Obviously, a parent would need to be there, possibly an SRO. The teacher, if we take this another level, the teacher may still feel threatened and want to pursue legal matters if some are able to do so. How did you, as the building level administrator, demonstrate a personal and professional code of ethics that inspires others to higher levels of performance? Well, very simply put, as the administrator, I want my teachers to feel that they can come to me anytime they want to. This young lady felt that way, obviously, about her principal, being me, I guess, in this case. She called him at night and off hours. I want my teachers to feel like my office is always open, that I'm approachable, that I'm a cooperative style learner and cooperative style leader, I should say, and not a command style leader. Someone who can be trusted with your concerns about the classroom. I believe I executed this by handling it in a swift manner with very few people involved and followed the law, that's for sure.